Hi, Facebook world. It's Debi Krichbaum with Real Talk San Marcos, and I've got an amazing guest with me here today, Rico Carvalha. And oops, I mispronounced it. Help me out with your last name.
Carvalha.
Carvalha, there we are. He is an amazing man, and before we get started, let me tell you thanks first to our two sponsors, 5-Star Escrow and First American Title. And without further ado, to get on to our amazing guest, Rico. This gentleman is the author of Ageless Living. And while his physical age is
76, I guess it is. Yeah.
But his lifestyle age is
35.
35.
Oh, fitness age, yeah.
Fitness age.
Yeah.
And if you think about the amazing thing that's literally 50%, almost, within the age time period. So while we're here today, Rico is going to walk us through his program. He's going to talk to us about lifestyle changes that you can make. And anyone that's out there that's thinking, you know what, I do need a healthier lifestyle. I really do need to be involved. We're going to invite you to a special that he's giving to all of the viewers today from his website as well. So without any further ado, welcome. Thank you so much for coming.
Oh, it's absolutely my pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And I'm sure in all of the times that you've sat and you've done interviews with people, there's always a burning question that comes up.
Okay.
What got you started? Why the passion for such a healthy lifestyle?
Okay, great question. I actually moved to San Diego in 1980, and I actually was looking for something new to do. And I happened to meet one of the very first personal trainers here in San Diego, and he wanted to open up a new studio. So he said, I need some help. So I said, well, that sounds interesting. I had always been an athlete and been into health and stuff, but not really into fitness or any of that so much. And so we opened up what I think was the very first modern personal training studio in 1981 in Mission Hills, called Fitness by Design. And in that same year, my father died of lung cancer. So as I was just getting into learning about the healthy lifestyle and all these things, my father died. And the thing was, my father was the healthiest person I've ever known. He was never sick, but he's one of those kind of guys who never went to see the doctor, right? And so, but the reason he died was he smoked cigarettes since he was 11 years old.
Oh, wow.
He grew up as a street kid, in the Depression and all that. And so nobody knew how bad it was, right? And so all of a sudden he just, his lungs were gone and he just died, So that really got me committed to learning about healthy lifestyles, and I committed that I didn't want that to happen to me, and I wanted to learn all I can so I could help other people so it wouldn't happen to them as well.
And it's one of those stories where it's a sad reason that you got into it,
Right.
but I bet you your dad is very proud of you in
Yeah.
the changes that you've
Yeah.
made and impacted people literally around the world.
Yes.
I would think. I saw from information on the Facebook page, websites and whatnot, I saw what I thought looked like Olympic medals. Can you talk to me about that?
Well, those are senior Olympic medals.
Impressive.
Yeah. Well, I guess. Okay, I'll take that.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's kind of an interesting story too, that how I overcame some obstacles. I actually tore up my knee playing football when I was young, and I was a sprinter.
Wow.
And so, I pretty much couldn't do much running anymore. And this was way back in the days when rehab, I don't think it was even a word, rehab,
Yeah.
And so I just had the operation and my knee was not so good, and then as you kind of let it go, so I kind of let it go. I couldn't really run that much, So when I got into fitness and personal training, I began to, get stronger and get my legs, my quad muscles stronger. And then I got into cycling so I got in better shape. And then I met some masters track people. There's some really, as you know, a lot of really amazing athletes. You're an athlete
Yes.
yourself here in San Diego. And there's some guys who have some of the masters, like world records and stuff. And I met some guys that were running track and they invited me to come out. So I said, well, I'll give it a try. And so, I still had some problem with my knee, but I started training with them, and we actually, in one of the California state meets, we won the 4x4 relay, 4x4
right.
against the whole state, and even against some younger
impressive.
people than us, and so I was able to do fairly well for a while there, and it was pretty fun, yeah.
That is
So it
good.
just kind of shows you that you can never give up, and you can rehab yourself, and get stronger no matter what.
And when you do rehab yourself, I think anyone who's been either, from an injury, but be it like from an accident or sports related injury or something, the concept of rehabilitation can take a long time and it can be potentially frustrating. Do you find?
It's definitely frustrating.
Absolutely. And then, but if you set some sort of a fitness goal along with it, it seems like you have more of a future reason to have it in really great shape. Did it seem like your knee got further maybe rehabilitated?
It's always good to have some little micro wins, so you can see that now I can do this and I can do this, and just have the picture, the bigger picture of what's possible. And now, well, just like there's so many people that have come back from amazing injuries and won medals or won championships in sports and things. So never give up. You can always really improve yourself no matter where you're at.
One of the things I noticed from looking at your bio and your resume and all that fun stuff is one of the phrases that caught my mind was that you've helped rehabilitate people from wheelchairs. So it sounds like the impossible can be done with the right mindset.
It sounds like a big deal, but actually it's not. Unless you have some serious disease or injury that really puts you in a wheelchair.
True.
So many people in a wheelchair, it's just because they allowed their bodies to become so weak and so unflexible that they end up being in a wheelchair.
That's true.
So it's actually quite easy to get somebody out of there if they're willing to. So I've been able to get people who just didn't realize that they could do better. And once you strengthen their muscles and get them more flexibility, you just get them out of the wheelchair.
That's
so
impressive.
It's pretty amazing. It's pretty fun, yeah.
It is. Well, and I know you mentioned that there's kind of 7 key components that you feel like, is that part of a healthy lifestyle? Or
well, what I came up with, how it is, almost everyone knows, pretty much the things that they need to do nowadays, and they know all the benefits of it, but yet they still don't do it. So what I realized, you have to make things that are not too difficult and easy as you can make them, and so also things that can fit into people's busy schedules. So what I came up with is what I call the 7 essentials of life. Ooh. These are all the things that we're already doing just to stay alive. We have to breathe, we have to hydrate, we have to eat food, we have to eliminate those food, we have to get sleep and rest, we have to move our bodies, and we have to use our brain. We have to think, right? So we're already doing these things, but what the problem is, we haven't really learned to master them most of the time, right? So we're doing a lot of things that don't serve us very well. So if you just get people to realize, look, you're already doing this, why not just learn to do it a little bit better? So that's what I came up with, those 7 essentials, and that's kind of the basis for my ageless living lifestyle.
I like that. Would you say for new clients that you've taken on, because obviously as a personal trainer, kind of life coach, the whole thing, do you find that the just do it is probably the hardest part for most people, is like mindset, just kind of getting on board?
It's so tempting as, being a trainer, because that's what you want them to do. Look, see, that's the thing I always like to tell people, and what I think is really interesting is that all the things that we have to teach, it's true. If you just do it, you're going to get results. You can't fail. Correct. And yet still people have a little bit of hard time with that. People can spend lots of money on programs to how to make money and all these things, but you never know what's going to turn out,
It's true.
But all these things, if you just do it, you will get the results, So I think Nike, that was so clever to come up with that, just do it. But some people, I guess they even get a little bit offended, so you can't really just tell people, although I do sort of,
That's your job,
it's true.
right?
You have to get off your butt and do some stuff, It's like, well, that's the thing with everything in life, isn't it? So if you don't take responsibility for everything in your life, then you give away your power and you end up being a victim. So
yes,
that's the mindset that we have to understand, that we have to take responsibility for our life, particularly for our health, and that we can, And it's not that difficult. You just have to make the commitment and get educated on what's really your body requires and your mind to be healthy, and just commit to actually doing it. So there's actually 3 main mindset shifts that I'd like to tell people.
Okay,
the first one is to realize that I think it's our responsibility as human beings to realize that it is our responsibility to take good care of our body, because I believe our body is a gift, right?
Agreed.
However you think of God or the Creator,
yes,
or the Creator of the universe, Spirit, however you think of it, we have this physical body, And it is a gift. It's our vehicle to do what we're meant to do here. And I think we all are here for a purpose.
Agree.
And we have things to accomplish. And so if you don't have a fit, healthy, energetic body, it's very limiting of what you're able to accomplish. And also how long you're going to live, most likely. So you're actually cheating yourself if you don't take better care of your body. So you have to realize that I think it's our responsibility to take care of this physical body to the best of our ability. And then you'll be able to be a lot more successful in every aspect of your life. And the second mindset shift is it's about beliefs. I think most people understand now that our beliefs and our thoughts and our feelings and our words are creating our reality, right?
Correct.
So you have to believe that you can. You have to believe that you can get fit and healthy and stay that way and never be old. That's my big saying, be bold and never be old.
I like that.
You never have to be old at any age. And so you have to believe that you can do that first. If you don't believe it's going to happen, if you buy into the normal social narrative that that's just the way it is, everybody gets old and sick and maybe end up in a nursing home and they're going to die around 80. Most people just buy into that and accept it, I got to tell you a funny story.
Oh, please.
I remember when I first turned 60, I started getting these letters in the mail of saying, well, you better start planning for your long-term care. I'm going, what?
You got the box you're going to go
out
in.
Yeah. And then from the funeral homes, oh, you don't want to leave this burden to your loved ones. You better start planning for your funeral. I'm going, funeral? I'm just getting going. I mean, but I can see.
I'm not even to the halfway point yet.
But I see that's what people are conditioned. And so a lot of people just buy into that. It's, oh, yeah, I'm getting old. I guess that's going to happen to me. If that's what you believe, that's what's going to happen to you.
Agree.
So it's, again, a big mindset. You have to believe that you can. And then the third one is you have to make the commitment. You have to get out of your comfort zone and get out of complacency. I think that's one of the biggest challenges we have as human beings is being complacent, especially in America.
Yes.
So you got to get out of your comfort zone and realize that if you're going to make this happen, you've got to commit to doing it. Only you can do it. And you've got to commit to getting educated to what your body and mind really require so you can be the best version of yourself and you can really make a bigger difference in the world. And so my real mission these days is again, I believe that the biggest challenge that we're really facing as human beings is becoming old and sick and dying way too young.
And there's so much of that. I mean, you look at how many people are medicated on things, and I mean, it's just the statistics. You brought them up on one of your podcasts that I was listening to, but it just makes me crazed that like a third of all adults over 40 or something like that are on some sort of a medication. And
no, I think the statistic says that
maybe even higher.
The average person over 40 or maybe it's 50, I forget, are taking about 4 medications. And every time I go in, like any kind of a thing to see, even if you go to see a dermatologist or get a physical, they say, well, list your medications, and I always put none. They go, none? They're like surprised, I'm going, I realize most everybody's got all these medications, which is just taking away your life force, Oh,
absolutely. Well, and when you think of like with the life force, I'm sure that healthy eating foods with vibration, really fresh greens and things without pesticides, is that kind of on the health food regimen?
I got to tell you about my new diet.
Okay.
I have the diet to end all diets.
Oh,
okay?
everybody listen.
This is important. It really is. It's called the 7-word diet.
I like it.
You want to know what that is?
The 7-word diet, yes.
Eat a variety of whole organic foods.
I like that.
Does that make sense?
Sounds like a slogan for sure.
That's what we need to do. I mean, now we're all biochemically unique. We all have certain things, allergies and different things to. So I do recommend people get together with a qualified nutritionist or a naturopathic doctor or holistic MD and to determine what foods may or not be good for you.
Correct.
But basically, if people would just eat a diet of whole, organic, natural foods, the majority of our ailments would go away. And you would see so much improvement in your health and energy. There's no question. So it's pretty simple. All these diets that are out there, I mean, most of them, they have some benefits, obviously, but mostly they're short term.
Agreed.
And they're too extreme. You can't stick with them. And they also have some downsides too. A lot of them are making you miss out on some things, nutrients that you also need. So you don't need any kind of a specific diet. And of course, there's no diet that suits everyone, right?
Correct.
So you just need to learn how to eat, like take a whole variety of whole natural organic foods. And I coined a new term too.
Oh,
We've all heard of cross training, right?
Yes, most definitely.
I coined the term cross eating.
Oh, Oh, tell us about that.
Well, cross eating means you got to eat a whole variety of foods. I know so many people get locked into we eat the same things over and over.
Yes.
And I guess I'm one of the few people who actually loves to shop for food, because I like to go see what's different and what's new. And it's, to me, I like those because I want to get what I want to eat. You know,
Yes.
so, and there's always new stuff. You know, we live in San Diego. We live in one of the most plentiful markets for healthy, good foods, right? Yeah.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
So we have such a lot of choices, you know. So cross eating means you've got to eat a lot of different kind of vegetables and fruits and nuts and seeds and try different things, because everything has a little bit different a nutritional value to it, you know. So the more you, just like cross training, you don't want to just do the same exercise all the time, right?
Agree. Your body kind of just gets used to
adapts,
it, huh?
and you don't get the same benefit, because if you swim, if you do yoga, if you run, you do all these things, you get different benefits. So cross eating is as well as cross training.
Absolutely. And actually, that's a good phrase, the word cross. I see we have a wonderful guest on the show today, Kimberly Mack. Hello. Kimberly is
Kimberly Mack?
Kimberly
Oh my goodness.
clear across the world, I guess you'd say, in Australia. How's that for a far distance?
Kimberly, I lost totally track of her. Kimberly and I did a book together, and we still have that. I have the e-copy. I don't even know if she has that. I mean, many years ago,
impressive.
because she's a raw food chef. And my book called Real Food, Real Fast it's still been my bestseller. So I turned that in, updated it, and got with Kimberly, and we added about 100 recipes.
Oh,
and over half of
amazing.
them, most of them are hers.
Wow.
And they're raw food recipes. And
That sounds good. I'll have to
Yeah,
find that.
yeah.
Well, and I did see you have how many books to your name now?
well,
Like 17?
well, 3
18, or-
hard copies, and the rest
Okay.
are ebooks. Yeah.
Okay. But you know the thing, it's funny, I find that a lot of authors will do like you, oh, it's just an ebook. I have found so much information
Yeah,
in the small kind of concise ebooks. I
Yeah,
find those just
yeah.
as good as a 300-page read.
It's actually better, because who wants to read a whole bunch of text these days? So it's just like everybody wants quick things to learn. So an ebook of even 20, 30 pages can give you some really good information that you can sit down and read in 30 or 40 minutes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very much almost like a TED Talk.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
TED
TED
Talk of books. And then it looks like, and we've got Kimberly again. Oh, so she's saying
What's she saying?
she's not the author, so you are apparently happily confusing her with another wonderful Kimberly Mack. But Kimberly, I think that means you got to get going on your next cookbook, girl.
Really? There's another Kimberly Mack, huh? I'll be darned.
I love it. Well, and then talk to us about the program that you told me about, that if somebody wanted to get involved in your, is it a coaching program where there's an intro of only $1 for the first
Yeah.
month? This sounds
So-
insane. I have to hear about
Okay,
this.
well, so here's the thing. You know, I've been teaching what I call the ageless living lifestyle, primarily just to private clients here in San Diego, and then, you know, some small workshops and that sort of thing. So then I finally realized that I'd really like it to be available to everybody who really wants it. So I created, it's an online wellness club. It's a membership club.
Nice.
It's called the Be Bold, Never Be Old Wellness Club. And so I developed all these personal training videos. So members, each week they get a personal training video from me that covers most all the things that people are dealing with, like you know, how to sleep better, you know, how to reduce stress, how to stick with a healthy eating exercise program, you know, permanent fat reduction, how to create more energy, all the things that most people are dealing with. And then we go through how to actually develop your own personalized ageless living lifestyle
Nice.
wellness program. And there's a lot of support materials as well. So again, I just got the idea that, I don't know why, but you know, people were just so bombarded with so many things these days, and people have the intention to do stuff and then they don't do it. So I want to make it just easy as absolutely possible. So I think it's the best value on the planet for $1. So you can join for the first month for $1, and you get 4 personal training videos from me.
Amazing.
I think they're worth a little more than $1.
Yes, I would think so.
I hope they are.
That's like, it's sort of like if you go into the ice cream store and you get that little tiny scoop and you like try it, like, oh, I love that flavor, and then nobody walks out of the store after
That's
that.
the
They
idea.
kind of get a
Yeah.
bigger ice cream. And
Yeah, so
taste
so
your
you
spoon.
can go to beboldneverbeold.com and read all about what all is involved and what you get. And then, like I say, you can try the first month for just $1.
Wow, that's impressive. Well, and I think I will be doing that as well, so I can
right.
share with future future shows how that's going, and because I don't know anybody who ever would say, you know what, please sign me up for, I would like to look older than I am, and I'd like to die younger. And so I think most people, it really is,
Yeah.
I want to be young and energetic.
Yeah, I'd like to get old and stiff and
Yeah.
become irrelevant and get pushed aside. And
And go to the nursing home.
yeah,
early
that sounds like fun, doesn't it?
Well, and when I actually hear, talking to some elders that I know, how expensive it is to
Ooh.
go into assisted living or whatever. It's way more expensive than putting kids through the most expensive college you could imagine. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm hearing $10,000 a
Yeah.
month or something,
Yeah.
and they don't come out with a degree that I'm aware of.
You know what that also reminds me of is, whenever you tell people that it's so important to eat organic, a lot of people will say, well, it's expensive. And so I look at them kind of dumb. I said, so what? This is your physical body. Put the very best possible fuel you can.
Oh, exactly.
And I had this holistic doctor friend. He says, whenever I tell a patient that they need to eat organic, and they say that it's expensive, he says, have you ever checked the price of cancer lately? It makes they go,
It's
wake up.
true. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what you look and that's the whole, I think, philosophy that a lot of us are just not getting in a deep part of our brain is how can you nickel and dime the one body that you get?
Right.
And, for anybody that would think, oh, well, I'll come back again and I'll do it, totally different if they were to believe in other lives. It's like, but what if you don't come back, or what if you come back as a beetle or something strange?
Yeah.
So you take good care of what you have, while
Yeah,
you
that's so
are.
true. I like to say, do you think of your body as a Ferrari or a Yugo? Remember Yugo?
Oh, I do remember the Yugos.
They came out, I think, probably was around the 70s or 80s. They were like about $2,000 or $3,000, and they just fell apart in
Yeah.
about 2 years, and they were gone.
They're all in the
So
landfills now.
so many people take better care of their car than themselves. It's like,
Absolutely.
come on,
Well, what else, whenever you have like a compressed period of time to get as much information out of an amazing guest as you can, I know that I'm not going to be able to get everything that the Facebook audience wants to hear. So let's go with this. Where would they find you if they want to hire you, if they want to get on for the special? How do they get a hold of you?
Okay. Well, my main website is agelessliving.lifestyle.com, and on there you can sign up for a free coaching session on agelessliving.lifestyle.com.
Okay.
And then again, if you want to check out my membership site, join our wellness movement, our Be Bold, Never Be Old movement. That's at BeBoldNeverBeOld.com.
Oh, that's simple. Very simple. Well, and that's the kind of things I figure too, is for a lot of times the Facebook shows, the live shows will happen, and then it just more and more and more people see it. It's great to know that the websites, whether you're in Australia, whether you're in the US, wherever you are, the website and the Facebook pages are timeless, so they can get on and request information.
There's one more point I'd like to
Yeah,
make.
please.
The real reason now that I'm doing all these things is because, as you know, we're facing some monumental challenges as humanity on this planet Earth. We don't even have to go to, we know what's wrong and
yes.
everything we need to solve. So it's my belief that we need more people as they age to stay healthy and energetic, so they can give back their knowledge and their wisdom to help solve some of these monumental challenges that we're dealing with. And also, I think we need more mentors and more role models. I don't think we have that many role models, people as they age, for younger people. So that's one of my main incentives, for want to get more people out there and show them that they can get and stay healthy and fit all their life, and they can make a bigger positive difference in the world.
And that's one of those things that there's no way that anybody wants to have all their information and then have it die off with them. So I mean, really the concept of mentors and role models for the younger folks. I think even the healthy lifestyle of moving, so many kids that have, their iPads and their phones, and they're just walking around, looking at the screens all the time.
We have a new name for those.
Oh yes,
for
what
phones.
do we call these?
You know what the new name is?
What's this?
Weapons of mass distraction.
That's true. Wait, I didn't hear you. I was on my weapon.
What? Yeah. You've seen those videos on YouTube of people walking into swimming pools and running into poles and getting hit by cars because they can't put down their screen for them. It just blows my mind.
Agree. So for the healthier lifestyle, obviously we want everybody to get on board, get healthy. Next time you watch the next episode, I want to know that you're walking while you're doing it, or you're on the treadmill or something.
Listen to a podcast.
Listening to a podcast.
The Fearless, that's my new podcast.
Actually, and
my
tell
new podcast.
about the podcast too. It's
I have
really
a new
good.
podcast called Fearless Aging. And it's where myself, and then we're going to have lots of guests. I'm going to interview a lot of guests there's so many amazing people out there, practitioners of all types, of all, mental, emotional, spiritual, all these things that we're going to have on to really give you some strategies and things that you can use right away to keep you from getting old and be fearless and be the best version of yourself.
See, I like it. And I've already downloaded and listened to at least 3 of them, and I was
good.
really impressed. Yes, I will make
Thank
sure
you.
to put a good review and all.
Yeah, good review. Absolutely.
Which
Thank you
is
so
good.
much.
Absolutely. And since we really are on the show Real Talk San Marcos, I will end you with a quick little real estate tidbit just so that you know where the market's going. Market's fantastic right now. We've got, what do we have? Actually, it was 139 homes are for sale right now. There's 96 that are currently in escrow.
Wow.
And we just closed 95, and I don't mean me personally, but the city of San Marcos.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that was all mine.
Oh, good work. Wow.
96 just closed escrow in the last 30 days. So it's a healthy, robust market. I think it's very much more important to take care of your body, but also take care of your home. And if you're looking to put your home for sale, be sure and look up my information as well. With that said, thank you so much for
my
being
pleasure.
on our show
That was
today.
fun. A lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun, and thank you to our audience. Come back and see us again in 4 weeks, and we'll have another great person on as well. See you again.